jumps out of the plane to challenge the gladiator, but is immediately destroyed. So his brother Rhodey jumps down and seemingly managed to get rid of the gladiator. Rhodey then notifies the ghost that the coast
We
is
come
clear,
from a
so
skip
he
to the end.
skydives down
Joker's
and
getting away.
using his
Your
ability.
entire
However,
planet
back on
is in
top of the
terrible
plane,
danger
the
due to a
gladiator
threat from
comes out of
our
nowhere
world.
and punches Rhodey.
What threat?
He manages to quickly recover. Meanwhile, inside the plane, Ghost takes out the cards and presses them to give up the code to get back to TK. But the guards are in a weird state and won't pledge. So Johnny uses his power to break the
Crackers!
You're
not gonna believe this.
In a rapid
Hey,
fashion.
wait for
Inside,
me!
Ghost tells the
Mr.
guard that it's his
Johnny!
best interest to give him the code, as TK's ability
Ah,
can stop the crash. And just as they're about to hit the ground, TK is released just in time and uses his power to
People
make
of
the plane
Earth One,
stop back at the
we
headquarters.
are the
Remember,
Justice
saving
Syndicate.
TK
We come from a
only
parallel
half.
version
And
of
then
your
now they
world,
must
known
work
as
together
Earth
with
3.
Justice to
We're
steal the
awesome,
helmet of the
and we're here to help.
Count Mordor.
Your Justice
Was number
League
one
had to
among
go on a
superheroes
mission in
of
deep
Carnage
space.
generation. However,
They
when
asked
he
us
was
to watch
defeated,
over you
his
while
helmet
they
was
are
kept
away.
in the treasure
What?
vault at the
That's
Union
not what
Justice
happened.
headquarters. Before the heist, they recovered an old friend.
That's enough TV now, Harvey. Too much is bad for your eyes.
But Mr. J, I saw those new Justice Bozos make the old Justice Bozos vanish using some little doohickey thingy. If I had my phone, I could show you.
Shush, shush, shush. I'm still searching for my wonderful toy. Care to join us, Lex?
I'd rather wear a wig. Besides, I have matters to attend to in Metropolis.
Oh, and thanks for the ride, Joker.
Why do I never take the keys out of that thing?
Wow, the new Justice truck is being real slow for getting around. How are we gonna build something like that around here?
Oh, Harley, you've got to start thinking creatively. There's plenty of scraps lying around we can use.
Oh yeah, I guess when you put it that way, Puddin'. Let's get
While
to
Johnny
work.
was trying to find his way out of the smoke, he bumps into the ghost. Manages to find Count Orber's helmet. Carmen jumps down and tells Ghost to put on the helmet fast. The Praetorian finds them. He puts the helmet on.
This'll be no problem for the clown prince of
Soon
crime.
after, they regroup at a bar. There is a knock on the door, and when Rhodey
Hey,
answers
boss,
it,
don't you got a toy that'll fit in there?
the Praetorian enters the room and reveals that his current power is mega-free, so none of them can move, speak, or use their powers. He calls his boss to come in, who turns out to be the leader of the network and the most feared villain of all time. He goes by Pastor and has the ability to make people's heads explode. The Praetorian knows that. No, he answers it. The Praetorian enters it and reveals that he's deep everyone is safe. Soon after, they put a bar. There is a knock on the door, and when Rhodey answers it, he's met with a punch to the face. The Praetorian enters the room and reveals that his current power is mega-free, so none of them can speak or use their powers. He calls his boss to come in, who turns out to be the leader of the network and the most feared villain of all time.
Need something?
He goes by the Bastard and has the ability to make people's heads explode. The
Need
Praetorian
something?
believes that even though he is a member of the Union of Justice, he is also a member of the Union at the same time. The Bastard takes $50 million made and used exploding the organization. The next day, Johnny and the rest of the guys are trying $50 million to Johnny the Praetorian believes that even though he is a member of the Union of Justice, he is also a member of the network at the same time. The Bastard takes $50 million to Johnny and his crew that made and used, exploding the head of the traitor to his organization. The next day, Johnny and the rest of the guys are trying to figure out their next move. Rhodey and TK are anxious as the helmet needed to complete the final mission. The ghost locks Carmen choosing ragtag villains and possible fight. So Johnny follows her out. A few moments later, Johnny proposes to Cassie, and she happily accepts. However, Johnny later realizes that he has no money on the wedding, so he needs to steal money from the ATM machine. His friend suggests they do one last big job for Cassie's sake, and Johnny can't help himself so he accepts. They break into a library and steal expensive textbooks, but when the alarm goes off, they make a run for it into the summer. They teleport on a train. However, the Praetorian is waiting for them at the next stop and teleports on the train too. Johnny tries to run away, but he's met by arrest Johnny and
Piece
throw
of
him
cake.
back into the Supermax prison. Cassie is left in her wedding with car, making the lights go off in the car, and becomes overjoyed when he discovers his gift. He then has fun messing with all the lights in the neighborhood, and eventually gains so much power that he wrote all the way to the top of the city. Following that, Johnny meets with his best friend Tom. They come up with a superhero name and sketch out in costume together. Later that day, Tom trains Johnny and empowers him to strengthen his abilities. They come up with a plan and go to a local park to reveal Electro Boy to the people. However, while Johnny is floating above everybody, a bully from the school recognizes him, throws off Johnny, and in turn, making him fall into the disastrously electrifying everyone, and causing a ripple effect of tragedies. After Johnny is devastated, he's done as he wanted to be free and to be a hero. Tom tries to come back to his flying out of the gates and next to Johnny uses power by accident or rage. He has a moment and decides to steal it. As his plans to be a hero has been ruined anyway, he then tells Tom to pay a huge bag for the money and claims he will become the real deal at being a super crook. Years later, we see older Johnny Bolt getting released from a special prison that can suppress any kind of superpower. When he gets outside, his girlfriend called Cassie is waiting for him. They share a passionate kiss after being apart for so long and drive home, where Johnny is surprised that they're by his school friends. After eating some pizza and drinking together, they start planning a drilling heist. The plan is to go after 10 places in 10 minutes, so the cops go to the panic. However, we'll discuss it in the next time. Cassie interrupts and uses her power to make the shipment.
So that's where we left that.
Doing
Really
business,
need a better firing system.
persuaded to turn the jewel heist. However, the following day, he decides to join his friends and go through with it anyways. Will robbing the store. Johnny electrifies all of the police cars chasing him. They manage to evade the authorities by each of them using their abilities when needed. Suddenly, a guy who claims to be called the Rubber Bomb begins to pursue them. He destroys one of their bikes and uses the houses to make them free. It causes some problems for Johnny and his crew. However, with a little team, the superheroes are able to take them down. When it looks like they're in the clear, Johnny and the rest of the guys suddenly teleport to a very powerful man with amazing abilities called the Victorian. He's the enforcer and also facing justice. It is revealed that he has 200 different abilities, with each one being random. Victorian takes out
Now, let's go round up the delightful ne'er-do-wells who'll be aiding us on our mission.
Johnny refuses having Tony and his blue in it, and Praetorian goes on to say that it wouldn't be fair to send him back to prison so quickly. Johnny and his crew promise him that they won't do anything so stupid again, and so the Praetorian lets them all go, informing them that this is their one and only chance to get on the right path. After he leaves, Cassie arrives to pick up Johnny, who discovers that she was in fact controlling the Praetorian, and the crew thank her for saving them. When they arrive home, Cassie tells Johnny she can't take any more of his neurotic behavior and explains that a real pro supervillain should go off and get a job so he can retire as a prosecutor. Johnny is adamant about it. Ends up afraid that she doesn't want to lose Cassie. The next day, Cassie makes a call to her friend with a permit. It's a great thing that never killed anyone. Cassie then informs Johnny of a plan on which he has to safely
Thank you. I do all my own stunts, you know. Sorry, folks. Use this call. Pre-signed autographs are available from my website. So this is the gig economy, huh?
Uji and Kotaro are two inseparable brothers who lost their parents in a plane crash, so the chairwoman of a high school who had also lost her family in the same accident takes them in. However, she doesn't want them so that they could be her new family, but instead to have Uji be the school's
Looks like my
babysitter,
ride's
since he's
here.
had experience
You guys
looking
just
after his
keep
brother
doing
since infancy.
that.
Upon meeting, She
Ooh,
reminds
but riddle me
Richie that
this.
he wasn't called to
Which
be her
one
new
of
son,
you will get
and gives him
tired
a brief
and give
interview
up
on his
first?
caretaking abilities. Once she is satisfied, she orders her secretary, called Seikawa, to lead the brothers to the school's
Hey,
daycare
Mr.
room.
Riddler.
Seikawa
You like
informs Richie
mysteries,
that he's
don't
been
you?
entrusted with the
Because you
task
know
of
that
looking
new
after the children of the
Justice
school's
Syndicate
employees,
is on
and
make
that the
the old
babysitter club was
Justice
created
lose
to
and
assist the female
disappear.
teachers there, but due to a lack
don't
of
say,
volunteers
Harley.
and insufficient funding,
Why
it's been
would they
short-handed.
do
So the chairman called Richie and Kotaro to
But
help
I
start
think
the
they're
club.
up to
When
something
going
bad.
inside,
I
they meet
recorded
someone
the whole
named
thing on
Yuzeta,
my
who is the
cell phone,
only
but then I
daycare
lost
staff
it.
member. He welcomes
Sadly,
Richie
I
and
think
Kotaro
you
and
lost it
introduces
a long
them to the
time
other
ago,
kids,
Harley.
who are called Taka,
An evil
Kira,
justice.
Takuma, Kazuma,
I'll
and
believe
Midori.
that when I
At night,
see it.
the teachers
Midoriya?
pick up their children.
Midoriya?
Is the only one still waiting to be picked up. Her children of the school's employees, and that the babysitter club was created to assist the female teachers there. But due to a lack of volunteers and insufficient funding, it's been short-handed. So the chairwoman called Richie and Kotaro to help start the club. When going inside, they meet someone named Yuzeta, who is the only daycare staff member. He welcomes Richie and Kotaro and introduces them to the other kids, who are
Can't
called
we come to
Taka,
some
Kira,
sort of
Takuma,
agreement?
Kazuma, and Midori. And
Midoriya?
teachers arrive to pick up their children, but Taka is the only one still waiting to be picked up. Richie is expecting his mother to come, but is surprised when his brother arrives to collect him. Instead, Taka refuses to leave and wants to play with Richie some more, so his older brother gives him a brotherly hit on the head and takes him home. After they leave, Richie tends to Kotaro, who's been quiet all day. He panics after noticing he has a terrible fever, then rushes outside after Taka's older brother, and asks him if he will take him to the nearest hospital. He agrees to help without hesitation and shows him the way. The doctor informs Richie that the fever was probably caused by the stress from a change in environment. When going outside for some fresh air, he goes about notifying his parents, but then remembers that they are no longer alive. He starts to cry like anyone would in his shoes, when suddenly the chairwoman finds him and comforts him. She reminisces on the funeral for all the plane crash victims, pointing out that the only ones not crying were them and her. She kindly tells him that he's not alone and doesn't have to be strong all by himself. After she leaves, Richie goes back inside to collect Kotaro, who's feeling much better, so they go home. The following morning, the chairwoman orders Richie to get up at once, despite it being 5 in the morning, and tells them breakfast and lunch is already prepared. She also gave Richie a brand new uniform, which he is happy and proud to receive. While on his way to class, he notices people looking at him strange and laughing. He runs into Kamitani and asks if something is weird about him. He tells him to turn around, and it turns out all the children from the daycare had been following him. A girl called Maria gives Richie a chewing out about the children, so he does his best to round them up as fast as he can and take them back to daycare. Maria is the top student in the advanced class and makes her studies her top priority. She brings Taka's lunch to daycare, explaining that Ms. Kamitani asked her to
Don't you
bring it
just
since her
love
son
it when a
forgot.
rescue
Yuzeta
mission
uses
comes
this moment to take advantage and pretends that he is sick, and asks Maria to take over for him. At first, the children are scared of Maria because of the incident in the hallway. She opens up and starts crying, saying that studying is all she is good at, and the harder she studies, the more alone she becomes. The children go over to comfort her, and they all cry along together. Later, Richie asks Kotaro if he wants to go to the zoo, however the kids overhear, and before he can blink, they are all begging him to go. Yuzeta tells him that he should take everyone, and he will go with him too, since he can get paid for working weekends. Richie is granted permission from the chairwoman for the zoo trip and even invites her to go, but she unsurprisingly declines the invitation. Seikawa had prepared the food for all the children, and even put in extra for the parents. Kamitani apologizes for dropping Taka off by himself, but he can't stay as he
I'm talking parallel universes or even multiverse theory here. From the same creator that brought you Omniscient Reader, this is The World After the Fall, a new webcomic series on Webtoon. This is a world where huge towers have spawned all over the planet and monsters are constantly invading. So far, they've killed off a third of the human population. Sounds like the end of the world, right? Wrong. There is hope because we have Tower Walkers. Select people chosen from all over the world to fight for humanity. Given special items and powers, if they can defeat every floor of the tower, they can save the world. Unfortunately, nobody has actually come close to clearing all the floors.
Sure,
Except
Jim,
one.
give me a minute.
This is Jaylon, the protagonist of the series and certified badass.
training, and their mom is busy. The children have fun exploring and seeing all the different animals at the zoo. When
No,
they're
I'm
about
trying
to
to
leave,
contact
Taka
Jim
thinks he
Gordon,
has seen his older
Commissioner
brother
Gordon.
and starts
Would you
to
quit
follow him.
bugging me with your
After
new
tailing
camera,
the
Jimmy?
van, Taka
Film
discovers
Clark
it was not
instead.
his brother and he ends
No
up
can
lost.
do, Lois.
Taka panics
Clark
and
hasn't shown up
cries,
for work
like any
yet.
child his age would, and
It's
calls
not
out for
like
his
Clark
brother.
to be
Luckily
late.
enough, Kamitani appears,
Hello?
and although Taka
Commissioner,
tries to
hi,
hide it, he
Lois
is over
Lane
the
here,
moon to
Daily
see him.
Planet. Here to
Valentine's
comment
Day
on the
arrives,
recent
and the
break-in
boys
at the
discuss
Amazo
if they'll
Lab.
receive chocolates or not, and the girls confirm that they will give them. The girls mention a boy from the advanced class they have a crush on, called Yanni, and try to give him their chocolates. However, Maria flips out and reminds the girls that it is against school rules schools to give out chocolates
The
this day.
prisoner we're
Yagi agrees with
transporting.
Maria and tells the
Well, I
girls
can't
to wait
comment
till
on
after
that.
school. He then questions Maria
Yes,
about the
they are
babysitter
still
club
alive.
and says that he is interested in
Not
joining
here,
it because he
Harvey.
loves
Put it in
little
the
kids.
vault.
Maria
Miss
snaps
Lane,
at
I gotta
Yagi
go.
and tells
I'm
him to
already late
speak
for
to
my
them
lunch with my
himself.
daughter.
So Yagi finds Ruchi and asks if he can join.
Reporters.
Confused as no one ever wants to join the babysitter club, he happily accepts Yagi into the club. Ruchi takes a mental note when he sees Yagi compliment all the children one by one, weirdly trying hard to get on their good side. Meanwhile, Maria overhears two students say that Yagi looks at the kids in a very strange way. So she runs to the daycare and finds Yagi with a nose ring. Suddenly, Yaga's friend, called Nezukan, takes him away since it wouldn't be good if he joins the club. The children begin to ask Maria for chocolates, but she tells them no and that it is forbidden on this day. So they all burst into tears. But just a few seconds later, she tells them that if they can wait till tomorrow, she'll bring them the most delicious chocolates she can, which makes them happy. While walking home, Richie gives Maria some chocolates and a compliment, which makes her blush. The next morning, Richie has physical education. A couple of the boys in his group complain about having gym first period, and that it's too cold. All of a sudden, Uzeda comes along with the kids, and Richie's classmates begin to chase them around the playground so that they can use them as heat packs to warm themselves up. Richie sees Takuma being picked up by a man dressed suspiciously, but it turns out that he is the father of Takuma and Kazuma. He explains that he was dressed like that because he is famous and didn't want to be recognized. He was hoping to spend his first day off in 6 months with his children, but when he picks up Kazuma, he cries. After many attempts of trying to play with them, he gives up and leaves. While exiting the school, he gets recognized and flooded with kids begging for his autograph and a picture, but luckily his wife shows up and saves him. She explains to him that it may be her fault that Kazuma is afraid of him, because they were watching a movie where he acted as a kidnapper. He turns around to find Kazuma and Takuma. They call him Papa and ask him to play with them, which made him filled with joy. The next morning, Ruchi starts his first day of high school, and the clubs began to look for new members, but Ruchi decides to stick with the babysitter club. However, Uzeda encourages him to at least take a look at the different clubs, so they take a walk to check them out, such as the drama club, who the mother of Kirin is in charge of, the cooking club, which Maria is a part of, and the baseball club, which Taka's older brother plays for. While Ruchi is putting up a flyer for the babysitter club, Kamitani approaches to ask if he can join. Surprised as ever, Ruchi asks him why, and he goes on to explain that it's because his brother Taka is there, and also that Kitaro recruited him. The next day, Ruchi wakes up feeling heavy and sick, so the chairwoman takes Kitaro to stop the cold from spreading to him. She gives Ruchi an extra blanket, and Kitaro helps her prepare food and medicine to make him better. He uses all his strength just to get one drop out of the lemon, which was a cuteness overload for me. After having her covered, Ruchi returns to the daycare, and while changing Midori's diaper, he realizes there are no wipes on the clean. And while he looks for someone, she crawls away. Just then, a boy opens the door and gets a bad first impression. He had gone to the club to meet Midori, who apparently is to be his future daughter when he gets with her mother. Richie thinks about it during class and is confused as he thought Midori's mom was married. When he gets to the daycare, he meets the boy again. He tells Ruchi that he wants to help Midori's mother, since her husband was in heaven. When he was about to tell her his feelings, Midori starts to cry, and her mother tells her that her papa is returning from his trip today. When he finds out that he misunderstood Ms. Sawatari, he says that when she wants to go out with her husband, he can take care of Midori, covering up that he was just about to confess his love for her. When Ruchi was drying his clothes, Kitaro sees someone in the bushes and brings Ruchi over to help him. It turns out to be Kichi-kun, Nezukan's brother, so Ruchi decides to call Nezu, but realizes that he didn't have his number, so he called Yagi instead, who came from Maria. It's discovered that Nezukan works a job.
Why does he look so dapper in that hat?
And his little brother reveals that he ran away
Calling
because
for help
someone wouldn't
won't
buy
save
him
you
game.
this time,
Suddenly, his other
Commissioner.
young brother
Once
pops
we
out
get
the bush
past
too
you-
and calls Yagi a pervert.
Where's he think
After
he's
talking,
going?
Ruchi and Yagi heave them out of the bush.
Lock
At
the
that
doors
moment,
to
Nezu
slow us
appears
down.
with the game Kichi
need
won
to find a
and
way
tells them
past.
they'd better thank Father and share it with the others. The following school day, Ruchi forgets his lunch, so Uzeda lets Kitaro take it to him. To see how he goes with his first extra error, Uzeda manages to convince the boy that is in love with Midori's mother to watch over Kitaro in exchange for a photo of her. On the other hand, Ruchi's classmates offer to give her lunch when they notice he was missing his. While Kitaro climbs the stairs, he collides with a student and falls, dropping Ruchi's lunch. But the student Uzeda tasked to watch over him saves the situation. He helps Kitaro to climb the rest of the stairs, and in the end he reaches Ruchi's classroom. Kitaro gives him his lunch. However, Ruchi was already full from the food his classmates gave him, but he doesn't mention it as he didn't want to let Kitaro Kentaro's efforts go to waste, so he picks him up to go and eat their lunch together. While talking to her friends, Yuki gets questioned about her feelings for Ruchi. She blushes and tells them to be quiet. Then the girls start saying how attractive he is and that he has a great personality. They voice their concerns about Maria and that she shouldn't be a problem, that she only prioritizes her studies. But what the girls didn't know is that Maria was passing by, and she heard everything. At that moment, Ruchi comes and asks her if she needed anything. She dismisses him and snaps at the girls gossiping about her. While walking away, she contemplates her feelings for Ruchi. When Kieran and Kentaro approach her, they ask if she will play with them. Maria states that this isn't a place to play and makes Kieran cry. She reveals that she doesn't go to the daycare to play with them because Ruchi is there. Kieran asks her if she hates him, and Maria says she doesn't. So Kieran asks if she likes him, and she says certainly not, with a bright red face. Kieran then suggests they come up with a plan to make Maria like Ruchi, blind to the fact that she already does. Maria goes along with the plan and follows them to Ruchi's class. Kentaro goes in and cuddles Ruchi to show he's accepting and loving. Maria says that he's a bit overindulgent, so Kieran says he can be strict too, and goes in telling Ruchi to hit her, or she's going to be a bad girl. However, Kamitani hits her instead, and she jumps into Ruchi's arms crying. Maria barges in and tells her that it's a misunderstanding, and that she doesn't hate Ruchi. So Kieran asks if she does actually like him. She goes red in the face again and storms off. Ruchi rushes after her and grabs her by the arm, but instead of confessing his love for her, which we all wanted to see, he just tells her that she had a sticker on her skirt. The next day, Ruchi finds a love letter in his locker and wonders who would have left it. Yuki sees him receive it, but tells her friend it wasn't her who left the letter. Meanwhile, Maria shows up and
I'm not gonna keep saying one and the other. I turned it off. Don't worry. Yes. Alright, everybody. Yeah, we made it.
Now, the real horror begins. My, that fear toxin certainly has its uses. I'm almost impressed.
Should be impressed, Ridley. Now let's get moving.
Okay, just gotta get past that security station. Shouldn't have any trouble with you.
That doohickey thing.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves, Candace. It appears to be a rather menacing turret, you know.
Riddle me this. What kind of police station has such an elaborately designed over-the-top security system?
One that's based in Gotham City.
Point taken.
One in Gotham City. Point taken.
Need something?
Sure, I got this.
I don't know the lyrics. You did. It could be an actual song.
Sometimes you feel like a mess. All this joy right now.
Oh no, my bad. Alright. Yes. She would have obviously seen the fact he turned her back, though, right? Right?
Oh, please. Don't people ever get tired of making things too easy for me?
Somebody, what the herb, what the herb? Batman is really awesome if he's able to take on all these villains with powers, except the Riddler. It learned. Well, technically Scarecrow does have powers because he's super smart. I mean...
Whatever's inside this vault, it better be worth
If it ain't, someone's gonna be sorry.
Now, let's not ruin the moment.
Looks like I'm not such a good fit for using this after all.
Is that Harvey Dent? Oh wait, no, Harvey Dent's the dude with Scar. Oh no, Harvey Dent is Scarecrow. I completely forgot. Money!
Stop us today.
Stop right there, you oversized pile of mud.
Whoa!
Nightwing.
That evidence isn't going anywhere.
Oh no!
Yes it is. I am
What has
literally
three
imagination.
faces?
We heard some of our old stuff was up for grabs.
Here you go, Chuckles.
You got it back for me. Put it there.
That's all you wanted?
Well, I just felt so underdressed.
Oh.
Can I see your license, sir?
Ooh, I thought I'd fix that.
Sorry.
Fish.
Yeah.
Welcome. Try the fish.
There's Cutaway. Hey!
Keep your feet out, Penguin.
You guys might want to go.
Fine, friend. We should combine our efforts to gather up these sublime spoils. Remember, anything I get my fiendish flippers on belongs to me. I'll just tell the police you ran off with them when you escaped.
You're a real class act.
Why Thank you, Catwoman.
No problem. Oh, I'm playing as Iris.
Well, what do we have here? Looks like my ticket out of this place. Okay. Heads, I stay here and help you guys. Tails, I take my new toy and go home. Huh. Sorry, folks.
I'm Two-Face. Two-Face.
Make way for my scaroplane!
All right, everyone. Show's over. Let's all just come along quietly and get on with our day, shall we? I'm not gonna tell you again. Give it up.
What are you doing? Just making you a little nest before I go, bird boy. Hope you like it.
Not too fast, Scarecrow.
Yeah, get him back, girl.
Girl, we need to stop her while she's busy.
There they are! Quick, stop! Commissioner! Thank goodness you're here! These reprobates are forcing me to return to my criminal ways!
Sure they are, Penguin. Now give it up. You've got the building surrounded.
What's that noise? Ain't someone else trying to break into my finest chemistry? Fiddlesticks! This isn't something I can use!
You realize you could have just slid under the door, right?
Yeah, well, now you're here, perhaps you can help me with this bat problem I'm having. Yeah.
Sure. Sure, why not?
Wait! I recognize these pieces. That pilfering police department relieved me of them some time ago. Ah, that's more like it. Now I'll deal with that bothersome little bat.
Backer, watch out!
Yeah, you can't shoot me now, boy! Yeah, you can't shoot me now, boy! I'm invincible!
Hey! Get on! Stowaway! What happened? Penguin! Penguin, what have you done? Ah!
Okay.
Aesthetically challenged aircraft. He's a small price to pay to take down bad girls, what?
Down, not out, Penguin.
Bad girl? Well, of course you realise this was all Catherine idea. I mean, she's the ringleader here, right? Oh, my goodness, look at the time. I must be going now. Help yourself.
I'll catch that jailbird right after I deal with you two. Good work, little bat. Let's see how tough you talk after dealing with Catwoman.
And Clayface, yeah.
Come on, guys. This whole thing's gone on long enough. Hey, I'm almost starting to take this personally.
the one taking a cat nap.
Hey, that showed her, Catwoman. Let's get out of here while we still can.
Patience, Clayface.
What is she doing?
Paws on that precious stone perched above. Consider it my bonus for taking out 2 members of Batman's little family.
Okay, but hurry up. We've already been here way too long.
Was that a reference to the Batman family? Which she's a part of? Cool, this game has all the references.
There you are, my pretty.
Hello, kitty. Nice. I'll get a few bucks for this.
Sure.
Sure, take it.
Owlman, Commissioner Gordon, GCPD.
Tells them to stop
Great work. Villain, eh? I guess they thought with the Justice League away they could run riot. They weren't counting on heroes like you.
That's us. Heroes, 100%. Not an ounce of evil in us.
Get these criminals over to Arkham. Safest place for them.
Everything okay?
Yeah, sure. It's just that Batman usually leaves.
Oh, sure. No problem.
Maybe that's how they do things on Earth 3.
That was the closing, not the exit.
When really he's just been acting weird because a girl likes him. In the end, Richie rejects the girl who sent him the letter because his priority was Kitaro. Meanwhile, Maria and Yuki are hidden in a bush listening to everything. Later, Kamitani and Taka invite Richie and Kitaro to a festival. They arrive well-dressed for the occasion, while Kamitani was dressed casually. He bets Taka that he will lose his sword by the end of the day. Then they start walking. Taka finds a game he wants to play which rewards a cool prize. So Kamitani drags him away. They run into Uzeda, who was there working a part-time job that his neighbor asked him to do. At that moment, Taka realizes that he had lost his sword and bursts into tears, so they all start to search for it. The sword doesn't turn up, so Kamitani tells him that he can play the game he wanted.
Download the Domino's app today and use my reward. Remember to earn points for your pizza.
If he decides not to search anymore, Taka accepts, and Kitaro pulls one of the ropes, the same sword that he lost comes out. Kamitani grabs the dodgy worker, and as an apology he gave him the newest game system. Returning to the daycare routine, Kamitani had quarreled with his brother for drawing a poop on his autographed baseball, but instead of hitting him like he usually does, he just completely ignores him. Outside, Ruchi tries to talk to him and explains that Kitaro had also destroyed some of his stuff too, but Kamitani explains that he wasn't angry about the ball, and that he doesn't understand what he did was wrong. On the other hand, the chairwoman is giving Taka a lesson. She asks for the sword he treasures and pretends she's going to break it, to show Taka what his brother felt when he messed up his ball, and in the end they both reconcile. The day of the Academy Festival had finally arrived, and for some